Melissa, you're ready? Chief,
Ready.
you're good?
I'm ready.
Okay, let's do it. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. We'd like to call the Policy Committee meeting to order this evening, November 14, 2019. We'd like to go ahead and provide the public an opportunity to discuss matters of public interest that are within the jurisdiction of the district and are not on the agenda. Madam Clerk, do we have any speaker cards?
There are no speakers this
Thank
evening.
you. Shockingly as that might be, we'll go ahead and entertain a motion to approve consent.
I move the consent agenda.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you very much. Any questions about that?
No, sir.
Madam
sir.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Director Clark.
Aye.
Barnes.
Aye.
And Gould.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much. Moving on to our first action item, that's family and medical leave. Ms. Maddox, the microphone is yours.
Okay. Good evening, Directors, Chief Harms. I'm Melissa Maddox, the HR Manager with Metro Fire. I bring to you tonight revisions to the board policy, family medical leave. The current version of the family medical leave policy was approved by the Board of Directors on May 12th, 2017. We've updated this policy many times over the years to conform with changing laws, or if we identify a change that would better benefit the needs of district employees and their families. The current proposed change allows employees to keep an identified amount of hours in their sick leave bank prior to going on unpaid leave. The current policy and the MOU states that you would have to exhaust all of your accruals before you go on unpaid status. So when employees come back to work, they basically have no leave time. So in that event, you would have no hours to use in case you got sick again or your child got sick or something. Together with Local 522, we felt that this change was needed. So when employees come back to work, they do have some hours on the books that they can use for future use. Local 522 has reviewed the revisions to the policy and they've approved it. Once the committee approves this policy, it is a board policy, so it would be recommended to full board for approval. I'd be welcome to answer any questions.
Thank you. Gentlemen, questions about? Okay, very good. I'm really proud of this work. This is one of the better policy tweaks that we've done to really recognize the impact that this can have on an employee. So this is, and it's nice that it was smooth in making its way. At least I think it was smooth in making its way through our approval gauntlet. So thank you very much for taking the time out of your workshop and getting this done. That's nice to see. And it was really nice to just think about, we're not going to ask somebody to exhaust every single thing that they have and put themselves in that risk when they come back. That's really good. Yeah. Well, with that, I think the motion is really to vote on this as a committee and to send it to the full board for approval. Gentlemen, can I have a motion for that?
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Thank you. Madam Clerk?
Director Clark.
Aye.
Barnes.
Aye.
And Gould.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much. Still your deal.
Yes.
Round 2, presentation item.
Okay. Additionally, before you, we have 3 administrative policies, the sick leave policy, the leave of absence policy, and the modified duty policy. First, the changes to the sick leave policy reflect updates which corresponds with the changes that were made in the 2019 MOUs. These changes include the deletion of language referring to the sick leave bonus hours and the changes to the sick leave entitlements. Changes to the leave of absence policy, again, also had to reflect the change that we just discussed in the FMLA policy, which allows employees to keep an identified amount of hours in their sick leave bank. So we had to make that change to that policy also. And lastly, the revisions to the modified duty policy, which applies to off-duty injuries. We made it to be more consistent and mirror the light duty policy, which applies to on-duty injuries. While there are some differences between off-duty and on-duty injuries as far as the workers' comp process goes, we felt that the light duty and modified duty opportunities should be administered in a consistent manner. So we really tried to mirror those two policies to side by side, besides the minor differences between the on-duty and off-duty issues. So the sick leave policy, the leave of absence policy, and the modified duty policies, as I said, those are administrative policies, so they're for informational purposes only, and they don't have to be referred to full board for approval. But I'd be glad to answer any questions you have.
Gentlemen? Really?
Good job.
Seriously? Nothing?
Great job.
I have a question.
Okay.
These knuckleheads won't. I'm assuming that even though we don't take action as a committee on this in this regard, that this has been run through the 5-2 gauntlet as well.
Yes,
That they've reviewed it and signed off on it like we have them do and are appreciative of their input. That's been done in these cases as well to ensure alignment of definitions and how that all, works out.
Absolutely.
Wonderful.
Yes, we have their sign-offs on all three policies.
And I mean
Yeah.
gauntlet in the nicest way.
Yes.
That's not
Yes.
negative. It's just that process takes time and it's an
Yeah.
important one. But
Yeah.
that's been done as well.
It's going very smoothly lately, so
Yeah, a
we're
smooth
appreciate.
gauntlet.
Yeah. Yes.
That works. All right, gentlemen, anything else? Thank you very much. I appreciate your time. Thank you very much. The next meeting for this policy committee will no doubt be in 2020, right?
Yes.
So that'll be a TBD. Any other questions, gentlemen? This committee stands adjourned. Thank you.